Catus Maximus here, this time with a review of a vintage 1970s era Evans TNR ratcheting flare nut wrench. These are kind of hard to find. I've been looking around online, even on eBay, it's just single wrenches, so difficult to find sets of these. But they had 6-point versions, they had 12-point versions, they also had crow's feet versions. One of the earliest known ones I know of that uses these kind of hooked ratcheting action. I've seen this kind of style on regular open-end wrenches, but not on flare nut wrenches. Now this has a obviously forged steel, made in the United States. TNR stands for tough and robust. Actually, I don't know what TNR stands for, but James P. Evans actually patented these in 1973. Wish I could find them. There's our patent number right there. Anyway, I think it's a neat little wrench. It would be nice to pick up a set of these, both obviously all of them with the 12-point and 6-point. But they are indeed a flare nut wrench versus an open-end wrench, because obviously you can't slide them over the side of a bolt, which is the whole purpose to an open-end wrench. So these are flare, where you have to get around the fastener and then put it on. And we can see it's indeed a proper flare nut, but you just have to be a bit careful. It's not too bad going this direction, but it's really designed to go this direction, so this extra hook gets on that surface and really gives it a lot of torque. This is indeed flare nut, because what we have here is a regular old flare nut wrench, and the reason that they have hooks on both sides is just so you don't have to pay attention to which direction or which side you're pulling it on. But if you're turning in a particular direction, one side is hooking, the other side is actually pressing. But even compared to this Husky, and these are actually the older Huskies, which are these aren't the old, actually these are the American-made ones, excuse me. So these are the premium old Huskies, but we can see even their fit is not quite as good as this Evans. This Evans has really nice tolerances. So anyway, that's the deal. It's a flare nut. You just pay attention to what direction you put it on, break your fastener, and then you just release it, and then it actually has a pretty good ratcheting action where that little extra notch hooks on, then this chamfer presses on that edge, and then allows you to ratchet off your flare fitting, whether it's, a fluid fitting, air fittings, hydraulic fittings, that type of thing. And I think these are pretty cool. There's probably some manufacturers of these nowadays which look just the same, because obviously patents only last 20 years, so the patents has ran out a long time ago. But I kind of like the fact that the Evans, I believe, is the originator of this style of ratcheting flare nut wrench. So pretty cool, something to keep your eye out for. And I thought they were pretty innovative, and I'm surprised more flare nut wrenches aren't using this type of ratcheting open-end wrench style or design. I've seen open-end wrenches that have like the kind of ratcheting action like this, the little hook, but it just seems to really defeat the purpose of an open-end wrench. It doesn't really engage quite as well. But on a flare nut wrench, where you just have a full hex for breaking the fastener and then you offset it for the ratcheting, is really pretty innovative and pretty cool. I really like this design. The only thing that I could really criticize them about, to tell you the truth, it's not a big deal on flare fittings that it's not fluted, especially when you have really tight tolerances. Having fluted or flank drive, etc., makes a difference on looser fittings. When you have a really tight fit, then you're already pressing on a wide area of the surface. So I guess the one real criticism here, and that would probably be the most obvious, is the fact that it's not particularly wide. It can be an advantage in many situations, fitting into tighter spaces, but many of the reasons flare nut wrenches are so wide is just to give them a bit more surface area, so that it doesn't fold that hollow, usually brass nut. Because even when you have a tight fit, if you're putting all the pressure just on a real narrow area, you can still experience, a little more possibility of crushing versus something that has a much wider surface area. So that'd be I guess the one real criticism. Edges are kind of sharp on the inside, but that's not such a big deal. Anyway, just kind of wanted to show what a ratcheting type flare nut wrench looks like, and how in this day and age everybody's used to this style of flare nut wrenches, when really something like this is handy, super handy, because once you break that flare fitting, you're either stuck using an open end wrench. so you can put it on and turn it quickly, because once you get a fitting broken, it's kind of lame to pull that off, slide it down, slide it back up, turn it, because many of those fittings kind of fight their way off, versus something like this where you break it and then just be able to ratchet off much more quickly and efficiently. Kind of a lost tool design, I would think. Not lost, but just something that was good but isn't very common anymore. And too bad these actual Evans ones, they obviously didn't sell a lot of them, because there's like, when I looked, there's 4 listings of random individual wrenches of these. And kind of a shame once when I looked at the patent and saw that they had 12-point versions, 6-point versions, crowfoot versions. So maybe eventually over the years I'll end up building up a set of these. But anyway, just wanted to show a pretty cool wrench. I really appreciate everybody who's been watching and subscribing. I did hit 30,000 subscribers. I'm going to try to do like an appreciation live stream this Sunday. Call it a Halloween 30,000 subscriber live stream. And really appreciate everybody's support and who has subscribed. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Until next time, Catus Maximus out.